Welcome to this edition of Inside Look. Today, I'm joined by Maureen and Charlie, both of Bishop Feehan class of 68, correct?
That's right.
That's correct.
Welcome, and as we all know, graduation season's right around the corner. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm Maureen Marigold. I was Maureen Bolger, and in the class of 1968 from Bishop Feehan, and it is our 50th. We hate to say 50 right now. It's like our 50th class reunion, and what Feehan does is they have this golden graduation for every class that's been 50 years. Now, I think it's ironic. We're the fourth class coming up, so there's been 3 classes ahead of us, and it's just a really welcoming thing for everybody to come and to go, to be part of it, to give back, to see how everybody's grown. And for me, I just think it's really exciting to be invited and to be able to go and do this.
Charlie Duchesne, the class of 68. It's been a really long time since I've seen people like Maureen and all these other guys, men and women now. We were all a bunch of foolish kids back in those days. And it's really rewarding to get to know people after they've experienced life for as long as we all have, to really get to know them individually, how they have developed and evolved as people, which you could not have predicted, way back then. And in fact, Maureen and I were having this discussion the other day over the telephone, but it really is a nice thing to know that we still have a bunch of good people in our class. And we hope and pray that as many as possible that get the word. We're trying very, very hard to contact everyone, but that they will come and join us. We've got quite the celebration in preparation now.
Well, I was going to say, I was looking over the venue, actually, of where you're holding it. It's very unique.
It is.
Tell me a little bit about the venue.
Well,
St. Anne's in Woonsocket, Rhode Island is an extraordinary artistic location, to be honest. It has more frescoes than any other location in the United States.
Wow.
In fact, it competes with the Sistine Chapel in that respect. They had a very famous Italian artist. I think his name is in here, I forgot. Oh, there it is, Guido Nincheri. And he spearheaded all of the artwork in the church, and he used citizens of the locale to develop all the different faces. So all the frescoes and all the paintings, excluding the stained glass windows, which are also magnificent, have the faces of the people from the community.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's really quite a thing, yeah. So it's some years ago, St. Anne's, like many other Catholic churches, was closed. And the exceptional nature of the venue was under threat. They were going to knock it down.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it sounds awful, but what are you going to do with this giant, building? So a group of people got together and formed the St. Anne's Cultural Center. They worked with the diocese to buy it for $1.
Oh, wow.
And they've maintained it ever since. And I'm not sure how long that's been. It's probably somewhere between 5 and 10 years. And so now it's called the St. Anne's Cultural Center, no longer St. Anne's Catholic Church. And it's being maintained, and it's just as beautiful inside as ever. They have tour guides, a few of which will be available when we have our banquet there on June 1st, that evening. So we've got quite a schedule of events. We're going to begin our happy hour, which is going to be a 2-hour happy hour. It's my kind of happy hour.
That sounds fine.
So even though I can't really drink, most of us can't drink because we're on meds or something. That's the kind of age we're at. But we're going to have a lot of fun reacquainting ourselves with people we haven't seen in so long in this beautiful, beautiful place. We're going to have, I've been working on the restoration and the digitization of the films that were taken of all of our football games in 1966. Now, that was the season before our last football season. 'Cause
Okay.
our last season was 67. We graduated in 68. So the year before, basically. And but there were quite a few of our class that played on the team. And I felt as a gesture to the school that I could spend some time converting all of these films. It would be quite a keepsake.
Oh, very much.
Because in 1966, we were undefeated in, I forget how many games there were now. I've been searching, viewing this thing so long, working on it. But I think it's 8 games, maybe 9 games. And all but 2 games we were unscored upon. And about halfway through the season, we defeated Durfee, and it was like a 27-24 was the final score. And it was a come-from-behind victory for the school, for the team. And it's quite the thing even to watch today. It was a very, very well-played game amongst 2 very well-skilled, talented teams, well-coached teams. So we won that game. And then we obliterated a few more guys on the way to the end. And the final game was against Bishop Stang on Thanksgiving Day at Bishop Stang in New Bedford, Fairhaven, or somewhere. And that was the first game, high school game, televised in the area.
Really?
It was televised on Channel 6, and they had their remote camera system there, and it was quite the thing. I mean, a real Model T by today's standards. And the weather was so the quality of the picture wasn't very good, and there was a lot of static, but I can say that, you know, I played on TV when I was 16 or whatever it was. And that particular film, Walter Donarovich, who used to donate his time and money into 16 millimeter film, and used to take all the games, films, and this one was in color. So
Oh, wow.
it adds so much to this project I'm working on. The fidelity and so forth is lacking because you have to understand this is done. It was actually Paul Murray who some 20 years ago took it upon himself. Paul's a team mate. Took it upon himself to set up a projection with the film, a regular film projector and a sheet on the wall, or however he did it, and then set up a VCR
And record
and
it.
record the image projected on the wall. And then he made all these individual tapes, and he sent them out to be combined into one tape. And somehow in the chicanery there were 2 games that were left out, which is unfortunate, but they were, you know, real high score against 0 scores, so that's the way it goes. So anyway, thanks to Paul, it isn't just memory. We still have something we can look at. And I've taken all of this VCR, and I bought a little software package to convert it, and it worked. And so, because I'm not a computer guru, I don't do this for a living, but I managed to convert the thing, and it actually came out pretty well. And I'm able to freeze frame and make some notes, what happened and who did this score and things like that. So I've got that part of it pretty much done, finally. I had a few spelling errors and things. I was working on it last night. And I just found out later today that Chet Hanowich, who was our coach, has agreed to talk to me about how he could add some color to this project. Now, it might be in the form of a written comment, or if he's interested and he's got some time, which is a big if. You know, the poor guy, I'm asking him to do a lot. You know, he's probably in his early 80s right now. I think you got to figure I'm 68. He's got to be 10, 12 years older.
He was my geometry teacher.
Was he? Yeah. I had him.
Mine too.
I had him for that as well. So actually, no, I had him for I don't for math. I had Sister Virginia for math, come to think of it. Anyway.
We had a lot of the nuns back then.
Right, exactly.
It's changed so much. But I think that everybody's going to, you know, especially the guys, but everybody, I love football myself, will enjoy the films that Charlie's put together here. They're very unique and can bring you right back to the time and the era. And they'll be on display, right, Charlie, at the class reunion and at the banquet the day before on Thursday the 31st.
I don't know about Thursday. We'd have to. We haven't actually made arrangements for that, but it could be done.
It could be done. I was just wondering, but I know the night, the big gala night for us, which is June 1st at St. Anne's, that'll be on display. So you know you can mix and mingle and go back to the
Stop
film.
and watch
you don't have
it.
to
It's all
sit
going to
on-
be in the sanctuary proper.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In the church area, you know,
That part
amidst
of it.
all of the frescoes and the stained
Oh, that
glass
would be
windows.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So and piped in music. They have a tremendous sound system. So it's a really unique, very classy venue. And we're going to have another film that I'm making, another video, whatever you want to call it. And it's actually just a collage of stills from that era that I've collected from archives at the school and from Tom McGuire, who is still closely associated with the paper. And he sifted through, and I've been after him. Come on, let's go. I need him, you know. And he's got quite a quantity. It took him a long time, but there were so many. So we're going to have, I don't know how long that video is going to be, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was an hour long with all these different photos.
Just rotating.
That will
through.
be so nice.
And finally, we're going to have a section, an area, in a memoriam for those of our classmates that have passed. And unfortunately, there's quite a few. Which, in the sad story, why didn't you tell about Thomas?
Oh, yes. One of the girls that's on our committee was, we've all tried to contact people that we didn't have all the information for, and she did get a hold of one girl that was in our class, and she spoke to her, and she said she wanted to come. She was excited about coming, and, she hadn't felt well, but she was looking forward to coming, and the next week she passed away.
Oh my goodness.
So it really touches your heart, and it makes you feel like, we need to get together. And I think that's one of the things that we wanted to mention is the fact that it doesn't matter where you've been, what you've done, ever since those days. I think when you do the younger reunions, mostly women, but also guys, tend to be like, maybe I don't want to go, I'm too heavy, I don't look good, I didn't accomplish a lot. And back then, you think that matters.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And when you get to this point in life, you realize none of that really matters, So we just want to have open arms to invite everybody that's in the class of 1968. If you just come as you are. It doesn't matter. We just want to come and talk and share stories and get to reacquaint, because we probably will never have this opportunity again to see the people we haven't seen. I don't think I've seen Charlie, I don't know, well, at another reunion, which was
Maybe.
the 10-year one.
Yeah.
And we didn't have this time, but I think because of everybody's perspective on life and being so blessed that we're all still here, that we can do this. So we're really encouraging everybody to come. It's just about, family, friends, and all getting together and sharing just the night away.
Actually, it's a laid-back thing, just where people
Yeah, that's right.
can stand and watch the videos, watch everything,
Right.
and reminisce just about those times in 1968.
Right, and it doesn't matter whether you did a lot, whether you played sports or you didn't play sports. Like I know Chris Curtis, that's on our committee with us, said, she goes, I didn't mix and mingle a lot back then, but yeah, when it came time, she volunteered to be on the committee, and she's really enjoying it. We've all enjoyed each other's company. I mean, for sure. So we've laughed together and thought, wow, I really didn't know you that well. But when you're that age, what are you thinking about anyways, right? You're not thinking about.
It's true.
It's all the whatever's in, and we're thinking about sports and what's in, and we didn't think about what we were going to wear to school, though. That's for girls.
That's
because
true. You didn't have to
we
worry
didn't
about
have
that.
to choose on that. So we just want to openly invite everybody to please come and make the effort. And you can call Feehan if you have questions for tickets. You can go onto the website. You can go on. There's some articles on Facebook, and sign up and just give us a call at Feehan. They'd be glad to help for sure. And don't hesitate. Charlie did mention also about we're going to have that nice little area with videos and a whole thing of everybody that has passed in memory of them. We really want to honor.
And that whole thing, basically a 2-hour happy hour. We'll all be upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll descend into the banquet area, where we'll have a DJ, and as I say, they have this outstanding sound system. And one of the committee members, which one was it, came up with all these songs from our era.
Oh,
wow.
Anne Marie, yeah, Anne Marie
A
Marsden,
list,
yeah.
a mile long. So we're going to Tony and Chris Curtis, who, by the way, is principally responsible for locating this venue.
Chris Curtis.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she is.
actually is
Connected.
kind of connected to it. She's a volunteer herself. So that's how we got there, and we got a great deal, and this was very helpful to us so that we could keep the price down.
Right.
And we emphasized in our pricing the ambition to have as many people come as possible. We're not hung up on show off. We want to have a really nice, low key, fun time together.
So pricing wise, what are we looking at?
The tickets to the banquet are $60.
Wow, that's very reasonable.
It is actually.
Right, it is.
And considering when you go through all the preparation and you realize what everything costs, that's a very, very good price.
Right, we really worked hard to keep the price down and everything. So
And then the previous day,
that's just what I was going to say. So the whole weekend, it begins on Thursday,
Okay.
which is May 31st. And at 4 o'clock, we have a reception at Feehan for us all to get together. And that's $15, right?
that's a
It's a
excuse me,
banquet.
a buffet.
Buffet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not such a full menu, but there again, it's for us to meet and greet and be together and share all of our ideas, past, present, and future. And
We're going
then
to have an open invitation to the faculty, those
Yes,
that
that's
are still.
right.
Oh, very
any of
nice.
the faculty,
Believe it or
which
not,
we
there are
need to talk
quite
to
a few.
Chet
I know,
Hanowich.
yeah. Chet and to Paul O'Boy.
Yes, definitely.
And but we're going to touch base with all the ones that were there, that are still alive and kicking. And some of them, Paul O'Boy, you'd never know.
Oh, no.
Oh,
He looked great.
right.
And it was thanks to Paul that I was able to get these the materials. But so I'm going to be hearing from Chet Hanowich in the next couple days. I understand he's looking pretty good too.
Yeah.
And he's just moved. I don't know from where or to where, but so I'll be eager to get his call. So we understand Sister Faith, for example, is still available. So we're going to, and so all these people, the faculty members, will be invited to the buffet on Thursday.
Oh, that will be nice.
Because it's not realistic, I
Right.
think, to expect them to come to this late night thing.
The reunion, right.
And it will be like a meet and greet and everything.
Yeah.
And I think they're coming as our guest, correct, Charlie?
Yeah.
Right, so
Oh, very
they're all
nice.
coming as a guest. We'd like to get them there and share all the ideas. I don't know if we want to know what they thought back then, but it's true. And so it starts on Thursday with that. 4 o'clock is the reception. And then at 7 o'clock is the Bishop Feehan High School class graduation for the class of 2018. And we will be recognized there at the same time. We will sit together and stand up and be recognized as a 50, it sounds awful, as a 50-year class, 50th year class, and we're going to get a diploma.
They offer, well, I don't know about the diploma.
Oh, yeah, it's a golden, we do.
Yeah, okay. I'm not excited about that.
Certificate.
But we wanted to avoid making it look like we're graduating again,
I know what you mean. Right.
kind of weak. But they're going to honor us, and we will honor the 2018 grads in return.
Right.
And that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
And
And there's a mass, there's a mass prior to that, all that stuff on Thursday, the time for which hasn't been announced yet, so.
The baccalaureate mass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, and we can all go. Also, that made me think of something. We're also raising money for scholarship. And so the class of 1968, where our goal is to raise $10,000, and it's to give back for scholarship money to incoming students over the next few years. So that's our goal.
Oh, incoming into Feehan. Oh, that's a great idea.
Incoming students into Feehan. It's for Feehan students, exactly. And that would be awesome, so we can help someone along and be connected with them and watch it just live on after us, after this weekend and after the, everything that we've done. I think to make a difference in a child's life is amazing.
Oh, and
To have the
it's-
opportunity even.
I was going to say, especially with the economy's studied out a little more, But the price is still going
Yeah.
up to get
Price
in.
is such a disincentive now. It's such an expensive thing, and no matter what school, you know. And I can remember when I went, it was $250.
But that was a lot.
Tuition.
It was a lot back then.
Yeah, so, but things have changed, and so this is a nice way, as Maureen was pointing out, for us to leave something back, give something back. And if we have enough people involved, make reasonable, even a small contribution, we have a good shot at making the $10,000.
Yes, I think so also. They can donate online and or mail in a check, and they don't have to come. You know, if they can't, say they're out in California somewhere and they can't come, they can make a difference by also helping us and by donating to the scholarship fund. So on May 31st, on Thursday, you know, like Charlie said, we'll have a mass, we'll have the reception at 4 and the graduation at 7. And then when that's over at 7, we're all going to go to Barrett's Ale House, right, and down the falls, and just get together and have our own little, I guess, late happy hour, right?
It's totally informal, pay-as-you-go.
Yeah, it's just informal, pay as you go.
And we've
No
spoken.
costs.
No, just, I mean, whatever you want to eat or drink is up to you.
Yeah, they're holding space for us.
Oh, nice.
And
Right.
hopefully it'll be a nice warm evening, and
Right.
we'll be able
We
to
can be out
enjoy
on
it.
the
They have a really
patio.
I was
nice
gonna say,
area
Yeah, if it's
outside
nice, we
there.
could be out in the patio,
Yeah.
right. So that takes care of Thursday. And then Friday evening is the normal regular class reunion at St. Anne's in Woonsocket. And Charlie described it beautifully. It's an awesome place.
Oh, it sounds gorgeous.
I know. And most of us didn't even know about it before
No.
Chris came to us and started explaining
Well,
it.
my wife comes from Woonsocket, so I get to know the city. They always say Woonsocket's one of those places you can't get in and you can't get out of. It's just one of those places, but with the Blackstone River and everything. But I knew of St. Anne's. I had never been inside, and I didn't know that it had closed. And so when we went to check the place out with Chris, and it was Tony, myself, and Chris, and we met Wally there. Wally's the current manager of the place. There's a board, and he's the chairman of the board, I guess. And when we got into the sanctuary, I was blown away. I mean, all of a sudden, Wally's talking, and I wasn't even listening to him. I was like, Wally, this place is unbelievable.
I don't know what anything you're saying. I'm watching that.
So anyway, it's all worked out, and so we're going to have the mass, the buffet, graduation, and then the Barrett's Ale House informal gathering. That's all on Thursday.
Correct.
And then on Friday is the heavy-hitting deal. It's the banquet, and that starts at 5 in Woonsocket. The address is 84 Cumberland Street, Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
So that sounds like a fun weekend.
Oh,
Really does, yeah.
I mean, you must be excited, and it must be nice knowing you've been a part, the two of you have been a part of putting it all together.
right. I think it's all part of, like, you know me, like I like to give back, to make a difference, and just think of the people who will touch just even within our own group. And then, because we're on here advertising it all and talking so well about St. Anne's, people can look into that, because they do weddings, they do showers, they have a great menu, and it's very reasonably priced and an absolutely stunning place to go. So, I mean, that'll make a difference for somebody also.
No, it's fantastic. Now, we've got about 3 minutes left. Is there anything that we might not have touched upon, or just that you want to reiterate again to have people contact you, or?
Well, I think one thing we want to emphasize is the use of the website, the Bishop Feehan website, and go into activities, or I forget what there's one. You'll find it. It's easy enough to find. And you get all of the information there. So if you have any questions, you can consult the internet, or you can call myself. My number is 508-695-2093. Feel free to call if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to take care of your inquiries.
And if somebody's watching this and knows somebody that was Bishop Feehan class of '68 and might not have heard this, pass it along. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the principal reason we're here.
That was what I had suggested all along. I said, even if, say, the people that graduated with us live in California or Utah, wherever, but their parents may still be here, or their cousins, or their sisters and brothers, and they see this on local TV, they go, hey, call them up and say, are you going to your reunion? Well, you should be if you're not, because it's going to be
Unique.
unique and a one-time event.
I was
When
gonna
will
say
we ever-
50 years.
Yeah.
When are you ever gonna?
We're not going to do this again at 100. So.
I mean, no, it's funny you say that,
No.
but you never know because
No.
my aunt just turned 90, and
Wow.
she was on a reunion committee, and she kept saying every year it got a little smaller and it got a little
Oh.
smaller,
Right.
the reunions. And you know,
My mother
it's
said
it's
that.
tough, and so it's good, you know, when you know that right now
Right.
you can enjoy it and everything, you know.
Right. No, exactly. And you can come back and tell your children, your grandchildren, oh yeah, you know, like my grandkids are all excited. You know, my daughter has told them, what we're doing, and I think they're going to come to graduation
Oh, that will be
just
fantastic.
to see.
Well, you guys did a wonderful job, and I can't imagine how many hours you must have spent
Right.
on the video.
It's a labor of love. It has to be. I'll
It
tell
has
you.
to be,
Oh,
yeah.
that was one other point. If we have time, I just want to say that the video is going to be given to the school as an archive, if you will. But I will be distributing flash drives. It can't fit on a DVD. It's too big a file, although I'm going to try, but I'm pretty sure it won't fit. But if anybody is interested, they can contact me and pony up with a few bucks for the flash drive. That's all I'll do it completely at cost. And that, I'm hoping that I can have that ready in about 2 weeks.
Wow,
Right.
you're a hard worker.
So
He is, definitely, definitely.
Both of you are.
Trip down.
once I committed to the thing, I had
I
no
was
way
going
to
to say
go.
you're
but
very ambitious.
had to
You can
continue.
only go up, right? I guess.
Yeah, right.
Well, guys, it's been a pleasure, and I really hope that this does reach out to people that maybe you haven't heard from
Right.
or you have been trying to contact, and
Right.
that way they can get in touch with you, whether they are coming or not, but even just for a donation
Yeah,
for the
that'd be
scholarship.
awesome.
That would be
Definitely.
great.
And
Yeah.
thank you for having us, Megan.
Thank you,
know.
Megan.
And anything you guys need, let me know, and
Okay.
have fun.
Thank you.
We
well,
will.
we will.
Appreciate
We
it.
will.
Thanks very
Thank
much,
you.
Megan.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
And
Thanks.
thank you. And
Thank
thank
you.
you guys for watching this edition of Inside Look. Please, if you know somebody that graduated in Feehan class of 68 and they don't know about the reunion, please let them know. Thank you.